Thank you. Welcome to this really special event on this bright, shiny day here in Burlington. My name is Rick Page. I'm Dean of the Larner College of Medicine. I'm so pleased to welcome you to one of the University of Vermont's most revered traditions, the endowed faculty investiture ceremony. We're really privileged today to have some special guests with us, including UVM Interim Provost and Senior Vice President, Dr. Linda Shadler, and Dr. Beth Kirkpatrick, Chair of the Department of Microbiology and Molecular Genetics at the Larner College of Medicine. We also have many important guests joining us by live stream. I also want to acknowledge Dr. Susan Wallace, past chair of the Department of MMG, who took a trip from California just to be with us today. Dr. Wallace, we're so glad you're here. Today, we have the pleasure of recognizing and celebrating Dr. Sylvie Doublié as the inaugural holder of the Green and Gold Professorship in Microbiology and Molecular Genetics, established through the generosity of a donor who, in this case, wishes to remain anonymous, though they have chosen to share some personal remarks I'd like to read for you right now. And I quote, "And I hope you're there. It is an honor for our foundation to endow the first Green and Gold Professorship in Microbiology and Molecular Genetics. We chose this department because the field of genetics and genomics has been central to one of our directors' 40-year career in academia, in part due to undergraduate experience here at the University of Vermont. Supporting exceptional faculty who have tremendous potential is what makes our public universities great." We can all agree with that. The foundation directors extend warmest congratulations to the new Green and Gold Professor in Microbiology and Molecular Genetics, as well as to the department chair, Dr. Kirkpatrick, the entire Department of Microbiology and Molecular Genetics, the Larner College of Medicine, and the University of Vermont, close quote. While we wish we could thank the generous donor in person, please let's give them a round of applause expressing our appreciation. Thank you. Endowed positions such as the one we celebrate today are enormously important and among the highest academic honors the University of Vermont can bestow upon a faculty member. Investing outstanding faculty members with endowed chairs and professorships allows the university to recognize and celebrate academic achievement and to further encourage scholarship, service, and clinical excellence where appropriate. At the Larner College of Medicine, named professorships are important in marking the successful trajectory of our high-achieving faculty members. By providing dedicated resources for research and scholarly opportunities, these positions enable our college's most gifted faculty to excel. These academic accolades also help us recognize the most distinguished researchers, scientists, clinicians, and physicians, and recruit and retain leaders in research and medicine and academia, such as Dr. Doublié. For these reasons, on behalf of the Larner College of Medicine, I'm tremendously grateful for this gift from our anonymous donor. And now it's my pleasure to introduce UVM Interim Provost and Senior Vice President, Linda Shadler. She's, You got ahead of me. I know she wants to share some words regarding this important honor. Please join me now in welcoming Provost Shadler.
Thank you, Dean Page. Clearly, I need to practice this a little more. You know, as provost, I have the privilege of participating in many of the university's ceremonies. On Saturday, I inducted new students into our community. I get to present degrees at commencement, and I get to come to investitures, and where I get to celebrate our faculty, one of my most favorite things to do. Investitures are important for many reasons. Excellence and recognition are clearly among them, but I find that connections that investitures reflect are deeply moving. Before the generous donors who created this endowment made their gift, they were somehow drawn to our university, maybe through a department, a field of study, a passion, a mission, or in this case, by being a student. In UVM, they found and felt a powerful alignment. They invested in us. And through their gift, they are now forever members of our community. They are also connected in such a tangible and wonderful way to the faculty member whose excellence and accomplishment their gift recognizes and whose career they are advancing. Congratulations, Dr. Doublié. And they are part of all the achievements that will arise from their gift. They are part of the village that it takes to do great things in academia. And just as a side note, I know that we'll hear a lot about what Dr. Doublié has done in her department, but I just wanted to share that I have served on the Vermont Academy of Science and Engineering board with her and have seen her commitment in person, her commitment to excellence in person. So it's been really fun to get to know you even before I got to stand up here and do this. And it was also so fun for me to hear about your son starting at UVM this fall. So that's exciting to see your enthusiasm around that. The final connection that I'll make arises from the new resources that are now available to Dr. Doublié. I have witnessed firsthand how professors use funds and the flexibility and creativity they afford and that result in a lot of synergies. The funds bring more people into the labs and into the work. The funds send more people to conferences and to share and exchange ideas. The funds support novel and often interdisciplinary approaches that are necessary to solve complex problems. In all these ways and more, they connect a broader community of scholars and sometimes the next community of scholars in their quest for discovery. And what comes from these connections is often really remarkable. So I'm here just to extend my sincerest thanks to the donors and my heartfelt congratulations to Dr. Doublié, who I'm thrilled to welcome to the University of Vermont's esteemed group of endowed professors and chairs.
Thank you so much, Provost Shadler. It's now my pleasure to introduce a person who has known and worked with Dr. Doublié for many years, the chair of her department, Dr. Beth Kirkpatrick. Dr. Kirkpatrick joined UVM in 1999 and has chaired the Department of Microbiology and Molecular Genetics, or MMG, since 2018. I should note that MMG spans both the College of Agriculture and Life Sciences and the Larner College of Medicine, and in this way is unique among all other departments. Dr. Kirkpatrick also serves in a secondary appointment as professor in the Department of Medicine. As a physician scientist, she bridges research and clinical applications splendidly. She's a principal investigator for UVM's NIH-funded Translational Global Infectious Diseases Research Center and serves on a World Health Organization International Committee guiding global polio research. She earned her medical degree at Albany Medical College before completing internal medicine internship, residency, and chief residency at the University of Rochester. She then trained in infectious diseases at the Johns Hopkins University, where she gained expertise in clinical subspecialty care and translational research. In 2001, she founded the UVM Vaccine Testing Center and really built a legacy building on a globally respected hub for vaccine research and diseases ranging from dengue to rotavirus to cholera. Her honors include being named UVM Senior Researcher of the Year, election to the American Society of Clinical Investigation, election to the American Clinical and Climatological Association, participation in the ELAM Fellowship, receiving the Bailey K. Ashford Medal from the American Society of Tropical Medicine and Hygiene, and service for a term as professor in residence at the Makerere University in Kampala. Dr. Kirkpatrick now has the honor of introducing Dr. Doublié. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Kirkpatrick.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you, Dean Page, for the kind introduction. I'm so happy to have this distinct honor and privilege to introduce Dr. Doublié, and I also wanted to say welcome to everyone here. I so much appreciate everyone coming and celebrating with MMG this big moment for us. I'm very happy for Sylvie. I'm happy for the department, and I wanted to personally thank our donors as well. This is an invaluable contribution to our institution and our work, and thank you very much. So on to Dr. Doublié. She performed much of her early education in France, receiving her first two of many degrees from the University of Paris East. She first received a diploma of general university studies, followed a master's degree in biological and biochemical engineering, and then another advanced degree from the University of Paris South in biological crystallography. She then moved over to the University of North Carolina, where she received her Ph.D. in biochemistry and biophysics in 1993, and then performed two postdoctoral fellowships, first one back in Grenoble, France, and the second one at Harvard University, working on the crystal structure of a T7 DNA polymerase. We were lucky that she joined UVM as an assistant professor in 1998 and was promoted to associate professor with tenure in 2004 and a full professor in 2009. And Dr. Doublié has received two of the highest honors that the University of Vermont can give a faculty. In 2014, she was given the honor of University Scholar, and in 2021, she was honored with the College of Medicine's highest research honor, the Research Laureate. She is internationally recognized for her science and her elegant structural biology as she pairs together biochemistry and X-ray crystallography to illuminate some of the fundamental cellular mechanisms underpinning important questions in protein and nucleic acid interactions, especially in DNA replication, damage, and repair. And as you know, these mechanisms are critical in multiple fields, but especially in cancer, and this research guides us all the way up to the new development of therapeutics. She has a particular interest in methods in structural biology, and she has described a method of selenomethionine substitution in the process of determining structure that's highly cited. She and her team have discovered and solved over 89 structures, which is remarkable for the field of structural biology. And I want to just comment on a couple of her remarkable discoveries. Her lab has solved several crystal structures of factors involved in messenger RNA processing, insights into how mRNA is recognized in alternative polyadenylation with colleagues Keller and Gilmartin. And with former MMG faculty Amy Shen, she's veered a little bit into the microbiology world by looking at the structure of proteases involved in the germination of Clostridium difficile spores. In collaboration with Dr. Wallace, the Doublié lab has elucidated the structures of several DNA glycosylases and examined how they recognize different types of DNA damage. And then Dr. Doublié's one of her largest body of work is determining multiple structures of replicative and repair DNA polymerases, uncovering how these machines, they select nucleotides, they bypass damage bases, and they repair double-stranded breaks. These structure insights have enabled development of particular inhibitors, therapeutic agents that can disrupt cancer cells and lead to helping us cure disease. Her research, as you might expect, has been broadly funded by the National Institutes of Health, the National Cancer Institute, the National Institute of General Medical Sciences throughout her career. And if that's not enough, in addition to her major scientific contributions, she's a tremendous university citizen. In particular note is that she has led the Cal side of the biochemistry major for over 15 years, really guiding and mentoring a whole generation of biochemistry students, so much so that our department started a Doublié Award last year that we give to the most promising senior Cal's biochemistry major. She's also taught multiple courses on protein nucleic acid interactions, cancer genetics, and general biochemistry. She's trained dozens of undergraduates, graduate students, and 12 postdocs in her lab. And as you also might expect, she's performed substantial national and international service. And as was mentioned by Provost Shadler. She's also served for a long time on the advisory board of our own VACE, the Vermont Academy of Science and Engineering. So overall, Dr. Doublié is really an unsurpassed scientific contributor to the field of DNA damage and repair. She's a valued educator and mentor and an outstanding university citizen. I cannot think of a better person to serve as the inaugural Green and Gold Professor in MMG. So please join me in congratulating Dr. Doublié. Okay, now we get to present Dr. Doublié with a medallion that marks this occasion and signifies her status as the holder of an endowed professorship. We hope you will wear it, Dr. Doublié, with your academic regalia at commencement, other additional university functions, and to the grocery store.
Absolutely.
All right, now I'm going to read a citation as Dean Page presents Dr. Doublié with a medallion. Dr. Sylvie Doublié is a highly respected researcher, educator, and scholar. She has dedicated her career to the understanding of protein and nucleic acid structure and function, knowledge which underpins fundamental mechanisms of major diseases impacting human health. Throughout her research, teaching, and leadership, her work ensures that new knowledge will continually help us improve patient care in Vermont and around the world. Her presence brings great distinction to the Robert Larner MD College of Medicine at the University of Vermont and the Department of Microbiology and Molecular Genetics. Dr. Doublié, the Green and Gold Professor in Microbiology and Molecular Genetics. We honor you today with this medallion, which serves as an endearing symbol and an enduring symbol of the excellence you strive to achieve in all aspects of your professional life. Congratulations.
Good afternoon. Thank you, Provost Shadler, Dean Page, Dr. Kirkpatrick, for the kind introduction. Thank you all for being here. Thank you also to the friends and colleagues and family who are on the Zoom call today. So there are a few people I would like to thank and acknowledge because as was mentioned before, it takes a village to do science. But before I do so, I would like to share a quick anecdote. So I was at McGill this fall when my chair, Beth Kirkpatrick, said, why don't we check in? We'll have a quick Zoom call. And I'm like, sure, that sounds like fun. So I get on the Zoom call, and then I realized that Dean Page is also on the Zoom call. And for a microsecond, my thought was, this can't be good. And I had the feeling of being an 8-year-old kid in the principal's office. Not that I know what it feels like, but and then Beth and Rick shared the excellent, wonderful news about the endowed professorship. And then the weird thing happened is I was hearing the words, but nothing. I didn't understand what they were actually saying until it finally sunk in. It dawned on me that yes, this was an endowed professorship, and it was 100% unexpected and so much appreciated. For me, it was the best news of 2025 and probably the best news of 2026, frankly, the way it's going. As you know, the donor wishes to stay anonymous, and I'm told that, I hope they're on the Zoom call. I would like to thank you for the generous gift towards establishing the Green and Gold Professorship in Microbiology and Molecular Genetics. I am deeply honored and humbled to receive this recognition. And my lab and I will look forward to sharing updates with you on the impact of your generosity. So in my mind, running a research lab is not dissimilar to a rowboat, with the BI being the coxswain. And some of you actually row boats, not virtual ones, but you know that a coxswain is only as good as her teammates. And this endowed professorship would not have happened without the hard work of all of my lab members over the years. And so I would like to say a special thank you to Brian Eckenroth and April Averill, who have been lab members for more than 15 years, and they're here today. Thank you for your professionalism, your impeccable work ethic, and your dedication. To my other current lab members, Andrea, Arzu, Owen, Cassie, Maren, Marcus, and Churchill, thank you for all the work you do every day. And also, thank you for keeping me up to date with Gen Z Speak so I can follow some of your conversations. You make it fun to go to work every day. To all my past lab members, some of whom are on Zoom, thank you for all the important contributions you've made to the lab and to science in general. I have learned so much from each and every one of you, and in some cases, it was patience. It's been a pleasure to be your mentor, really, and to see the great things you have accomplished and to rejoice in your successes. I would like to thank my two chairs, my former chair, Susan, who made the trip all the way from California to be here with us today, and to Beth, who became chair of MMG 8 years ago. And she's had to navigate some pretty choppy waters in the past few years, and we all appreciate the calm and steady leadership that she's provided throughout. So most of the work that my lab does is collaborative in nature, and I would like to take a minute to thank my collaborators, past and present, for their passion, their ideas, and their friendship. So longtime collaborators include Susan, who built DNA repair here at UVM from the ground up. Rick Wood at MD Anderson and Joanne Sweezy at the University of Nebraska, we have been longtime collaborators and also mentors. Here at UVM, Julie Dragon and Ramiro Barantes Reynolds for the expert bioinformatics support for the program project is greatly appreciated. And you've heard Beth mention Amy Shen, who's on Zoom, who's now at Tufts. Thank you for convincing me to work on Clostridium difficile proteases. It's a bit far away from DNA repair, but this had the advantage of giving me some street cred with my microbiology colleagues. Looking at you, Matt Wargo. And to my more recent collaborators, Steve Roberts and Bruno Martorelli di Genova, I'm really looking forward to new discoveries. And all this work required submitting a fair number of grants, and I deeply appreciate the help with the grant submission and post-award paperwork. So big thank you to former business manager Patty Laverty and her team, and to the current business manager Megan Bartlett and her team. Your dedication and attention to detail means that I only have to worry about the science. So I've been here since 1998, so you can talk about the before times. And I remember conversations with Nick Hines and Scott Morical when I was interviewing here. And they both emphasized the collegiality, the high potential for collaboration, and the can-do spirit of UVM. And Scott even said that if they didn't have something, his lab could just beg, borrow, steal what they needed. And I don't think he meant the steal part literally, but this has been our experience here. Anytime we needed help or needed to borrow a piece of equipment or some consumables, one of you stepped up and shared your expertise and equipment. And I would like to say a special thank you to two colleagues who have been friends since day one. Deep breath. Gary Ward and Stephen Everser. I could always count on you to fix a computer with a vexing problem, and Lord knows this happens a lot, or to proofread my green sheets. You have been cheerleaders and excellent sounding boards, and the extra bonus is that I became friends with your spouses, Zell and Amanda. So that was a score. Special mention to Nan Mason, who came all the way from Shelburne today. And she was super supportive and really helpful when I was studying as an assistant professor, and that was really special. Last but not least, I would like to thank Mark, Alexandre, and my family and friends for your support. Thank you for inspiring me and for making sure that I take time to smell the roses. Arguably, it's not an easy task in Vermont because you're only in bloom for 2 years, but I do my best. So in closing, I would like to thank again the donor for making this endowed professorship possible. I would like to thank all of you for being here today, for celebrating with me, and for being all around great colleagues and friends. Thank you.
I don't want it to stop. Sylvie, congratulations again. Thank you for those wonderful words. I'm sorry I frightened you, and all for good reason. And we're so proud of this accomplishment. Congratulations. Now, for our donor who's, I trust, still watching, we have a commemorative medallion that you don't have to wear around your neck all the time, but is signifying your generosity. We will get this to you. We're tremendously grateful for your having provided this opportunity to acknowledge a great faculty member, to congregate together and really celebrate what's good about what we do. So in so many ways, thank you. Let's give our donor another round of applause, please. As we conclude the program, I want to thank our speakers, Provost Shadler, Chair Kirkpatrick. Again, we're so honored Dr. Wallace is here joining us today. What a great opportunity to be together, to honor Dr. Doublié. And this is really special. It's always special when we do this. This is among my favorite opportunities I have serving as your dean, is to celebrate in this way. This is the very first endowed position that's come to this department. It's not going to be the last. And we look forward to that happening sometime in the future. Here at our college, we take pride in the important research, teaching, and clinical care that our faculty members participate in every day. So much of the work they do is enriched by generosity, by philanthropy, by investment, by giving to all of the important things we do. There are supporters here among us. There are supporters online. There are future supporters here among us and online, I trust. We thank you for your generosity, for the support that you've given our college, and for what you can do for us someday in the future, because especially in these troubled times, it's sure a benefit to have the kind of support for our faculty, for our scientists, for our educators, for our physicians, to allow us to do the important work we do. So now we close. I invite you to enjoy time celebrating. We have refreshments here. Please stay well. Thank you so much, everyone here, online and in person, for joining us for this very special occasion. Thank you.